aren't we? Alright. You're getting filmed.
Hey, good to see you.
Just in case it's I can't remember about your dog, whether it's a good one or a bad one.
He's a good one, but he's locked in there.
How you doing? You trading?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, Joe, let's sit down and have a chat about real estate. Joe.
How you doing, Tony?
Very good, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting us into your beautiful home. I've been here several times before. This is probably the most that I've been here sober. So tell me something about this house anyway.
Well, this house belonged to Jackie Gleason.
Mm.
And when he died, the wife sold it to a hot dog chain guy from New York.
Mm.
And he lived here about 5 years, and then he passed away. And nobody had paid the association for, I think it was about $20,000 that was owed to the association, and they didn't have any mortgage on it. And the association foreclosed on it. I bought it for $182, and it's
That's a deal.
9,200 square feet. It's a beautiful 3 lots, beautiful house. And we've been doing our, improvements on it, but Zill's got it for like $1.2 million, $1.4 million.
Yeah, it's a fabulous house, and maybe afterwards, if we've got enough tape left, of course, we'll scoot around and I'll just do a little bit of video. No, it's absolutely lovely. How long have you been doing this business for?
February 2011.
Really?
Somebody told me, a friend of mine bought a house on foreclosure for $10,000. That opened my eyes. I started researching. I had about 20,000 saved, and I bid on a house, waterfront with a dock in the back, a townhouse in Eastern Shores, next to Sunny Isles, and I got it for $14,000. And I still have it. It's got a mortgage on it, but I've had it for over 9 years or 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it rented out $2,500 or so a month. I got my boat parked in the back there on the dock.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawyer I have, he's incredible. He'll drag it out another 3 or 4 years, and then the bank will get tired and want to negotiate and give us a lower price than what they're owed.
Mm-hmm.
Or they pay me to go away. Usually they pay me more than I originally paid for the property.
So I've known you a while here, and I know that one of your biggest things is that you like to do research. Research is your big thing, isn't it?
When I research, I'm looking for gold. And any time that you're out there looking for gold is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So I get excited in the research part of it. And finding, banks that went out of business, or we've been able to find banks that are no longer around that you can do a quiet title on it and eliminate them completely.
Because I think that if memory serves me right, you've actually picked up some properties for free, almost free. Am I right?
What do you mean by?
When I say free, that you found that there was. When I say free, you paid your auction money. You're taking a bank out with a supposed mortgage of 1, 2, 3, or 400,000, and you made it go away. To me, that's free.
Yeah. Well, when I started out with little money. So, second property I got with my mom in Doral, and we made $100,000 on it. I got one with my sister over at Sunny Isles that we also we paid $40. I think the mortgage was about $250. We sold it for $500. So I started off with that, and then my friends, I started, partnering up with my friends.
Syndication.
We were doing about 50 properties a year.
Really? How many foreclosures? How many foreclosures, tax deeds, whatever? How many properties do you think you've bought since 2011? If you were to guess, I know that
probably 400 or so in that ballpark.
So you kind of got the hang of the game now.
Yes.
What is your preferred type of properties? What's the properties you'd like to go after?
Well, right now I'm looking for properties to rent out, and I like newer properties, nothing older than, let's say, 95. Less chance of a lot of repairs needed. And rent them out, and when it's a condo association, you still have to bank. Rent it out as long as you can, and make your money that way, and then negotiate at the end and see if you can keep it. Or,
But I mean, you've always told me you like to buy houses or properties that you actually like.
well, yeah. Especially with my 1031 now, it's properties I would love buying. I'm not buying any, with distress or a lot of repair or anything like that.
Somebody that's starting out, a lot of people that'll be watching this video at home or in the office or wherever, they're sitting there with zero. They've got no idea where to start. What advice would you have for them? I mean, if you said, like, what would you say to them?
It's a learning curve, and you're going to lose at the beginning until you learn everything there is to learn, or a lot of what there is to learn. So I would recommend somebody getting advice, partnering up with somebody who really knows what they're doing, and learn all the.
Well, there's some big pitfalls in this business, as we both know. It's,
I see people bidding on stuff that has a mortgage, and they're bidding like if the property has a mortgage on it.
Yeah, I know there's some crazy stuff going out there.
Yeah, so you really need to do the research before you bid on anything.
And your perfect area out of all of South Florida to play in, property-wise, in terms of actually, what is your favorite? Everyone's got a favorite. My favorite is Palm Beach County.
I look for areas where there's a demand at, like Davie has Nova University, and anything around the college there is going to rent. South Beach and Brickwall, and anything close to the water usually has a good demand for it. If they're rental properties, you want a place where you can rent it out the same day you put the ad up.
How many days a week do you trade?
Every day, except the weekends.
Well, I know that Friday, Palm Beach County doesn't have an auction at the moment. Miami,
Miami and Broward usually have Fridays. Usually in Broward on Friday, it's just association foreclosures. So there's no bank foreclosures on Friday in Broward. And those are the ones you have to research the most, are the association foreclosures.
Yeah, no, tell me about it. Yeah. Tax deed or foreclosure? What was your preferred purchase? Do you prefer tax deed sale to foreclosure sale in terms of actually what you actually purchased?
A tax deed sale, believe it or not, I just recently got into tax deed sales. And I was surprised how quick you get the title. Usually on a foreclosure, it takes 3 weeks or so to get the title. And a tax deed, you get it in about a week.
Yeah.
So, and it wipes out everybody. You don't have to watch out for associations, how much they're owed, and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. And it all depends on how high it gets bid up.
Worst deal, best deal.
Huh?
Worst deal, best deal. Let's start with the worst deal that you've done. What's the worst deal you've done? Because actually a lot of people learn.
Yeah.
A lot of people learn from
The
their
worst
mistakes.
deal is when you buy a property and you've researched it inside out, and the person changed names or even changed a letter in a name, and they quit claimed it over to the new name, or the mortgage is in the old name and now everything else, and you catch yourself.
And the only time you find out is after you bought it. Yeah.
Bought it, fixed it up, and then this guy says, look, we just foreclosed on the property, and I had no idea. It was under a completely different name.
Yeah.
And
They still?
it just last week, I got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, right in the middle of a golf course in West Palm. And I got it for $7,000. And it's free and clear, it's worth about $150.
Fantastic.
And the bank called me that, oh, we messed up. You know, my person wasn't there or something, and they objected. And I went in front of the judge, and the judge said, sorry, you should have been there.
Wow.
So for $7,000, I got it with $150. And I bought townhouses for $1,700. We went to the same owner that was there, and he paid me 3 months, first, last, and security, and I got like $5,000 for something I just bought for $17,000. So there's there's luck out there too.
Yeah, yeah. No, so listen, I say the same thing. I mean, that there's lots of times where I've had a bad deal and everyone gets them, and you think, what am I doing in this business? And then then you have a winner, and you go, yeah, now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, the bad ones are to learn from. What did I miss that I can catch next time?
Yeah. Well, I'm a big believer in research, and even right up to the last minute, I'm looking to see if there's any docs that have been filed in court, prior to the auction, just to make sure that I've got all the encumbrances.
One of the important things with a condominium is read the condo docs and see if you can rent, or they have a 2-year rental restriction, or something like that could throw a wrench.
Do you like the buy-to-rent market? Is that something, because you can build up quite a nice portfolio there, can't you, really?
Yeah, I've been not buying to flip, which most investors are looking to flip and all that. Because I was buying the HOAs that still had a mortgage in front of them, unless you had equity, you really couldn't sell. You rent it as long as you can. And the ones that are free and clear, you do find association foreclosures where the properties are free and clear.
Yeah.
And normally we still rent them out.
Yeah.
But you could sell those.
Yeah.
And my grandfather, back in the early 60s, used to buy houses in Hialeah for like $18,000, $20,000. And he'd save up, he'd buy one, he'd collect rent, save up, buy another one. He wound up with like 8 houses paid off, and his retirement was set. He passed it on to his kids. And that's what I'd like to set up, is have a
so what now is you're buying really for passive income? Yeah, that is very, very cool. Well, for all those of you watching at home, Joe has very kindly agreed to come down and give some education at some upcoming seminars which we're trying to put together, I think in the next 4 to 5 months, which we'll let you know by email about. They'll be advertised on the Property Onion website. Been using our Property Onion tool for a while now. Okay, so let's have a little walk around this wonderful house that you did a great deal on.
All right.
Tell us a bit about this house. This is beautiful. Wow.
This was the poker room where the Rack Pack and all of Jackie Gleason's friends used to come and play cards and play poker and all that kind of thing. We even had a few presidents that came by here also.
Really?
And
we're not talking presidents of HOA, we're talking presidents of the United States of America, right?
Yeah.
I've got a few of my friends here that could destroy that.
And I'm into aquariums.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But they're not really in this right now.
What's today's current value?
That was kind of like $1.2 million or something.
And you gave, remind me how much?
180.
182,000 for 1.7 million. I think that's not a bad day's work.
Yeah.
This was the microphone that Sammy Davis Jr. used.
My sister did do that. There we go.
But the truth of this is, I mean, that the Rat Pack did hang out here and they played here and everything else.
That's kind of cool. No, a lot of the furniture was left here by Jackie.
Yeah. Thank you very much for showing us around your home, sharing us some experiences and giving a little bit of advice. And hope to see you very shortly. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
See you guys.